factor. So before we even talk about how you're supposed to do it, they were doing factoring when A is an understood 1, and we're doing special patterns. So there's standard form. We've been talking about that since Monday. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Yeah, we talked about that since Monday. What's the understood number in front of that x squared? 1. That's what it means by factoring when A is an understood 1. There's an understood 1 there. A lot of you guys do know how to factor already. We'll just go ahead and factor and we'll talk about what happened. How do you factor x squared minus 9x plus 20? What's it take to make your x squared when you FOIL? It takes an x and an x. Now you start thinking about your 20. What's it take to make it 20? 5 and 4. 5 and 4 is great because 5 plus 4 is what? Do you see an I? There's your hint, kids. However, you see a negative 9, so these both have to be negative. Now, I teach a guess and check technique. How do you check? Boy, you should always check. A lot of kids just write crap down. But you should always check. X times x is your x squared. Do the outside, you got to take away 4x. Do the inside, take away 5x. If you do the last, you got plus 20. And of the juniors, I think there's 20 juniors that can't FOIL to save their life. You know one of those kids, please help them out. Because they're going to fail. That's what's going to happen. Anyways, if I was to put all that together, would I get the original trinomial? Understand what I mean when I said trinomial? It's trinomial. Three pieces. Okay. So all we really did is we thought about factors of this guy that added to that guy. So it's factors of C, constant, that add to the middle term, B. We'll do another one together and then we'll look at example B. Yeah.
Before I got to your judgment, I've never heard of one like that.
Move around a lot. Although there are also a lot of really bad teachers. Some days I'm a horrible teacher. It just depends on what day you had a teacher. I try to be a good teacher. According to state, I'm like top 10 in the state. That's facts. I create some strong classes, so see. Just imagine if you all tried. Just imagine if you tried. Just not even there,
Me?
yes.
I do.
You don't try that hard. You watch Netflix while you work on a twin.
Yes.
That's not trying.
I'm
That's dividing your
done.
that's dividing your
She
attention.
actually came over and we did all our work yesterday.
Good. She needs to.
Yeah. I'm getting done.
You guys factor that one real quick. Keep it to yourself for a minute. The prerequisite skill for factoring is actually third grade multiplication table. Well, it all depends on you. Give me the multiplication tables in third grade, they can factor. If you were that kid that cried at night when mom and dad were making you memorize your multiplication tables, you can't factor. Harley, you look very confident. What'd you come up with? You guys agree or disagree with Harley? I agree with him. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15, and negative 5 plus 3 is 2. So I agree with him. You okay?
Yeah, I'm student.
Or did you cry in third grade multiplication? Okay, good. All right, now you guys try B. Oh, you can try to do that one the whole time.
No, it's not gonna work. Right.
Hey, I like that you're guessing your chicken. He learns how to factor by the guessing technique has a 70% chance of being able to teach their young teenager how to factor. It's been a while since you guys took that from me. Show factoring problem and she will cry. So be better than your parents. Learn how to factor. Guess and joy. What are your factors of the 12?
2 and 6.
2 and 6,
1 and 2.
3 and 4, and 1 and 12. Can you get to a positive 3 by adding or subtracting 2s and 6s? No. Can you get to a positive 3 with 3 and 4? Not going to happen. How about a 1 and 12? Not going to happen. Not everything's factorable. You just ran into one that wasn't. This one is not factorable. Sometimes it's called prime. That's the word I'll use instead of writing 2 words. I'll use the word prime. It's not factorable. It is divisible by itself and 1 only. That's what it means to be a prime number. Prime numbers have no other factors other than themselves and 1. That's why it's prime. Does it have factors? No. Prime. Some of you guys know what a prime number is finally. Some of you still don't. All right, special patterns. These are on your form quizzes. The first one we'll talk about today is the a squared minus b squared pattern. Does anybody know that pattern from your form quiz? How does a squared minus b squared factor? A squared minus b squared factors as a minus b, I probably should switch over to uppercase, times a plus b. One of the reasons I'm asking you to memorize your squares too, by the way.
It does matter with the three.
Huh?
Like it's supposed to be with the place.
No, my lowercase b's look like a 6, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. So I switched to uppercase. You get that?
Yeah.
First example up here is a difference of 2 squares. What do you square to become x squared? Square x. You're taking away something else. What do you square to become 64? 8. This is actually an x that has been squared. Take away an 8 that has been squared. And I'll line that up with the pattern, a squared minus b squared, which factors as a minus b times a plus b. So we're using that pattern. What's a going to be? X. You guys get that? What's b going to be? 8. That's all you do is plug them in. So this guy has to factor as x minus 8 times x plus 8. And if you don't believe it, how can you check it? You can boil it. It's worth doing at least once if you don't. First term generate an x squared. Outside generates a positive 8x. What's the inside generate? Negative 8x. It's nice. What's an 8x? Take away an 8x. 0. Because they're already there, are they? And then negative 8 times positive 8. It's the same thing. It's just how it factors. All right. Next pattern up there is the perfect squares pattern. This is on your form quiz. I've actually got it reverse of the notes. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared is something that factors as a plus b times a plus b. Instead of writing something twice, you can write it once. You can write 2 times 2 as 4, or you can write 2 times 2 as 2 to what power? Second. Okay. That's why it's called a perfect square. Because when you factor them, see, I told you my b's look like 6s. You can just put an exponent of 2 if you want. If you want. It's entirely optional. You don't have to put the square there if you don't want to. So example B happens to be a perfect square. And kind of go with your gut on a lot of stuff. What's your gut say it takes to make a y squared? Y times y. What's your gut say about 16? 4 and 4. It's plus plus here, it's plus plus there. Check it by 4. The inside's going to make 4y, right? How about the outside? 4y plus 4y? 8y. Now, instead of writing y plus 4 times y plus 4, you could write y plus 4 squared. That is entirely optional. I do want you to understand that this piece is optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. All right, any issues so far? 2 more, and then there's some U try. Hopefully I can get to the zero product property. If not, it's fine. I already made the Marvel's notes out with it. Factor 169, take away 16x squared. Which of those 2 special patterns is this going to be? The difference of 2 squares, the difference of 2 squares, 2, or the perfect square? It has 2 things, kids. It'll be Ross. Ross said perfect square. Perfect square has how many things? 3. 2 squares has 2. It's got to be a difference 2 squares pattern. All right, so I'm going to write that down just for reference to myself and for y'all. How does a squared minus b squared factor? A minus b, a plus b. I hope you guys all get this one right Friday. It's Friday, you have a form quiz. I also hope that you know what 13 squared is Friday. It's like every teenager's favorite square for some reason. I grade this stuff. Almost everybody gets 13 squared. I wonder why. Could it be the 69? Maybe that has something to do with it. What do you square to become 16x squared? So you take away 4x that has all been squared. That's how you think about this stuff. So what's a? 13. Don't overthink that. First thing you saw has to be a, right? What's the next thing you see? 4x, that has to be b. So 13 take away 4x. 13 plus 4x. We're going to spend a little more time on b. We'll go with what you guys tell me, and then I'll go back and show you something else. All right, this is factor 9b squared plus 54b plus 81. And there is a pattern to this, but honestly, I never use it. But I'm saying go with your gut. How do you guys want to make a 9b squared? 3b and 3b. Because 3b times 3b is 9b squared. How do you want to make an 81? Nine and 9, nothing wrong with that. If you were to spend a little time checking yourself, what's 3b times 9? You've got 27 b's here. You've got 27 b's there. Is that going to give you the 54, your desired result? So yeah, you factored it correctly. Have you guys done the extra credit in IXL? IXL is big about what we call factoring completely. IXL would count this answer wrong. Okay? So let's talk about factoring completely. Nothing wrong with your factoring, it's just not completely factored. Factored completely. I'll show you two different ways of doing it. 3B and 9. They divisible by anything? 3. You can pull a 3 from 3B plus 9. If you pull a 3 from 3B plus 9, what's left over? B plus 3. Turns out you can do it again, because this was also 3B plus 9, right? You pull a 3 out of it. So you have 3 times B plus 3 times 3 times B plus 3. You have a 3 times a what? Another 3? What's 3 times 3? This is 9 times B plus 3. How many times did the B plus 3 have? Squared. That's one way of getting to the perfect factorization mechanism. There's another way too. You could have identified that 9 really, really quick. What's the first commandment in math? Why are you guys struggling with this so much? I wrote it to be funny. You can pull it, pull it. What can you pull from all 3 pieces? A 9. Pull a 9 from 9b squared, what's left?
Squared plus 6b plus 9.
There's the 9. All right. Let's factor the smaller trinomial. What's it take to make your b squared? B times b. What's it take to make a 9? 3 and 3. It's just a quicker way of getting there. The numbers are also smaller, so it should be a little easier. Should be. Doesn't mean it will be. It should be a little easier to do. All right, any questions so far? All right, let's see if you know anything. Here, you guys. The bell rings, so be it. Thought you were in the middle. My clock's wrong and the bell's not synced with my phone. On example A, after you factored it, why don't you think about it if you factored it completely? I really bet you did. I'll do some last good stuff. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's the thing, it's just scratch that and look at this and cross. Not saying anything else. How'd you guys decide to make your 4x squared?
Good.
2x and 2x. How about your 16? And if you're at one negative, one positive, what has to happen to the FOIL? You have to add up to be what? 0? Well, it works like that. Now, talking about factoring completely, what can you pull from each of your factors? Pull a 2 from that one. You can pull a 2 from the other one. And what's 2 times 2? 4. That's 4 times x minus 2 times x plus 2. Be on the lookout for little things where you can do it in the beginning as opposed to the end. Because you could have done it back from the get-go. Could have pulled it right there.
The way math is for me, like once I get it, it clicks in and it's easy.
I hope it stays easy. I will see y'all tomorrow. We'll go over your basics quizzes and then we'll do more factoring. I'm not excited to grade them.
Oh, yeah, you're the course that's great.
I grade all of them.
Make your eyes rest in peace after you see my handwriting.
No, handwriting's not a problem. You're not a problem, Nathan. I just feel sorry for some of these kids out here. They don't know anything.
I don't know a lot, but what I do know is.
I'm trying to attend class tomorrow and try.
Can you be on time?
Can you tell them girls to put something in the bathroom?
Maybe they need it. Maybe they have bad anxiety. I can't go in the girls' bathroom, buddy.
Well, you could say that you're a she and then make it work.
Not in the state of Tennessee.
Well, then I'm gonna need the
The
girls.
state of Tennessee doesn't allow transgender bathrooms.
Yeah.
State of Tennessee, if you have a penis, you go to the boys' bathroom. If you have a vagina, you go to the girls'
So you
bathroom.
shouldn't be able to say, oh, well, my name needs to be boom. Like, what's your face? This is right there. Oh, I thought that.
Don't sweat that too much. There's no point in hating somebody for wanting to be
I
like
don't
you.
hate her. You know?
It's real when he goes, well, he's a he now. When you get older, you'll understand.
No.